Welcome back. Imagine waking up and doing something completely normal, such as replying to a few text messages or having a conversation, and then suddenly feeling like you just ran a mental marathon. If you've been dealing with a concussion for more than a month and you're wondering why your energy, mood, and focus feel unpredictable, this episode is for you. By week 4, the majority of people have completely recovered and returned to their normal routines without any symptoms. But for 15 to 20% of individuals, these symptoms do not resolve in the standard time frame, and this is clinically classified as post-concussion syndrome or PCS. The first thing to know is that if you fall into this category, recovery is not linear. You might wake up one day and feel almost normal again, clear, calm, hopeful. And then the next day, a headache shows up out of nowhere. The lights feel too bright, noises are irritating, and heavy brain fog sets in. And just like that, it seems you have gone backwards. That is one of the most confusing parts of this, but also one of the most normal aspects of post concussion syndrome. Recovery tends to move in waves and not steps. Another thing you might notice is that your limits seem inconsistent. What feels okay today might be too much tomorrow. A conversation that felt manageable yesterday suddenly feels overwhelming. Scrolling your phone feels fine one moment and exhausting the next. In my own experience, I recall not answering phone calls from family and close friends because I had a very low cognitive bandwidth. When a large percentage of your daily energy is locked up and dedicated to repairing your brain, there is little left to use for thinking, focusing, and interacting with the world. It's a deep, heavy exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. And when you hit that wall, your brain shuts down. You might also notice that things that used to come easy no longer feel this way. Following a conversation, making decisions, driving in heavy traffic, or at night, or in the rain, reading more than a few paragraphs at a time, or engaging in an activity like cooking that involves multiple steps. There's this extra effort now, like your brain is working overtime just to keep up. That is the injury. And many of you have experienced how exhausting all of this can be. On the emotional side, you might feel anxious, depressed, irritable, or more sensitive than usual. This is your nervous system still going through the process of settling down after the disruption. It affects how you feel just as much as how you think. So, what does progress actually look like? It's small, quiet shifts. Maybe symptoms don't spike as quickly, or recovery after a time consuming task is a little faster. Maybe you have a higher tolerance for bright lights, or you can follow a conversation without being distracted by background noise. These are just a few examples. These changes are subtle, but they matter. One of the hardest aspects of post concussion syndrome is not just the symptoms, it's the uncertainty, not knowing how long it will take to heal, not having a clear finish line. But that does not mean you are stuck. It just means your recovery is not linear or predictable. If you are in this space right now, trying to function but not quite feeling like yourself, stuck between where you were and where you want to be, just know this: you do not have to solve the whole timeline. You do not have to figure everything out. Just notice your limits and work with them. Give your brain something steady to build from. For now, take this one step at a time, even if the steps feel uneven, even if they feel small. That does not mean you are not healing. You are still making your way through this, and that is what matters most. And as always, thank you for being here. Take a deep breath. Give yourself some grace today, and I'll see you next time.